Hello you guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to glitter the rolling trays or makeup trays, whatever you want to call them. It's the silver trays from Dollar Tree. They come in different shapes. Here's a round one, here's a rectangular one. They have another one with a fancy shape, but I'm going to do this round one right here. So let's go over the material. So the first thing you're going to need is a tray, of course, and like I said, they sell these at Dollar Tree. You'll find them in the section that sells like the utensils, because they're called serving trays, so they're in the section that sells all the kitchen utensils and stuff. So you need that. You need a plate or something to catch your glitter. You will need epoxy. So I use this amazing clear cast from Hobby Lobby. It's $23.99 for the 16-ounce bottles of part A and part B. You will need something to measure your epoxy in. I already have mine measured. I use these Anchor Hocking measuring cups from Walmart. They're glass, and I can reuse these. So once I dump the epoxy out here, I just rinse them real good in hot water. Then I let them soak in hot water and Dawn dish detergent until I'm ready to use them again. You will need paint brushes, of course. I have two different brushes. I have this one. I'm going to apply my paint and my paint. And this one is what I'm going to apply my triple thick. So speaking of triple thick, you will need some form of sealant once you put your glitter on. You will need to seal it before you apply the epoxy. So I use triple thick. This is the brand that I use. I purchased this from Hobby Lobby. It's $5.99. When I open my triple thick, I pour it in this bottle, because once you start pouring it out of this container and it gets around the edge, it dries and it's hard to open it. So I always pour mine in one of these containers, and I purchased this from Dollar Tree for $1 as well. You will need some form of paint and glitter. So one thing I noticed when I did this one, you need a dark color paint, or if you use a light color, you need to put 2 coats of paint on there. You will need something to mix your epoxy in. I use these little red cups. I purchased these from Dollar Tree. I think it's like 20 to a pack for $1. And I have my measuring spoon to mix it. I have my gloves, and I have my heat gun. I think I got this one from Home Depot. Okay, so these are 2 that I already did. So because I don't want to make this video very long. So this is the one I already did. I glittered it. I painted. I put the glitter on. I sealed it with triple thick, and I put the decal on. So I will. This is the one I'm going to put the epoxy on towards the end of the video. This is one that I have glittered already. I have not put the triple thick on. So I'm going to do that. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I glittered it. So there's several ways you can do this. Most of my trays I spray paint my trays, and I spray paint them white as a base coat, and then I put whatever color. I hardly ever do glitter, because why? Glitter is messy. It's pretty, but it's messy. So I hardly ever do glitter. So but this was an easier way for me, because I have tried different methods, but I like this one better. So what we're going to do first is we are going to paint the tray. So like I said, if you use a light color paint, you're going to need to use 2 coats. But this is a darker one. That green was dark. I only had to use 1 coat of that. And then you want to make sure you get in into those little areas around there, around the rim, because you want your tray completely covered. This is going to help your glitter stick. And these things are very, very popular now. I have one with Bob Marley on it. That's like my most popular one. But I painted that one. I spray painted it, and I used the Rust-Oleum spray paint from Walmart. I painted the base white, then I painted the actual tray black, and then I did a print and cut design on my Silhouette Studio. I have a Epson 1430 that I use for my print and cuts. So I just designed it in Silhouette Studio, and I printed off and stuck it on. I'll leave the link to that one in the description, to where you can see it on my Etsy in the description. All right. Yeah, you want to get all those spots in there. I probably should have gloves on right now because I don't like for paint to get on my hands. Okay, so once you have it painted to your liking, that's when you're going to put the glitter on. You're going to put the glitter on when it's wet, because you need something to hold your glitter in place. So once you have it painted to your liking, see a spot that I missed. So once you have it painted to your liking, you're going to go in with the glitter. And this is Sapphire. I purchased this little container from Walmart. So I'm just going to pour glitter all over the tray, like so. You want to make sure you get the edges. Let it fall down. Voila. And that's all you do. Okay. So I'm going to sit that off to the side to dry. I'm not going to worry about dumping all the excess glitter off right now. I need to get a paper towel to wipe this paint off my hands. Just use a Lysol wipe. All right, so I'm just going to take this glitter here and dump it back in my container. And then I'll save that plate for when that's dry, and then I'm gonna dump the remainder of the glitter off there. Okay. I don't want that paint on anything. All right. So once your glitter is dry and you have dumped all the excess off, then you will go in with your triple thick and you will seal it. You don't have to use triple thick. You can use other things. I have used the Mod Podge adhesive spray. Me and sprays, we just don't work well together. So I'm just gonna put a good amount of this in this plate. Actually, I could have just put it on the tray. And then I'm just gonna take my small paintbrush and I'm just going to go over it to seal my glitter. Now, this doesn't make your glitter like smooth. You would have to do like more than one coats if you want it really smooth. But since you're going to be covering it with epoxy, you don't really have to do more than one coat. You just want to seal it so it doesn't come off. And so when you're putting your epoxy, you don't have glitter floating all around and have it in places you don't want it in. I have been asked before, do you need to seal these with epoxy? I mean, technically you don't, but you got to think like, what is the person going to use this for? if they're using it for a rolling tray, a lot of times they do a lot of scraping on those things. So you don't want to put something on there that's going to, because they scrape too much and you just use this, it's probably going to scrape all the glitter and all that stuff off. It's probably not going to last long. So, but if you're just using it like the pink one that I have here, it's going to be just to hold little makeup brush holder and stuff like that. I mean, that's fine if you don't put epoxy on there. So I guess it all just depends on what the purpose of the tray will be. Because you want something that's going to last, especially if you're going to be selling these to other people. Bit right here. And you know, I think when you use these sponge brushes for this triple thick, I think it calls you to use more because it's like it's soaking it up. I don't know, I'm not sure. It just seems like it. So I'm probably going to switch back to the bristle brushes for this. Alright, so now we have our triple thick on, and you just let it sit for like an hour. I'm gonna let it sit for longer than an hour because I have to work today, so I'll probably come back and finish this later on tonight. Alright, so this is the one that it has been painted, it has been glittered, it has had triple thick on it to seal it, and I apply my decal. I cut this decal with my silhouette and I just put it on there. So I already have my epoxy mixed, okay? I mean, not mixed. I already have it poured in the glasses. So I'm using 1 tablespoon. So I know I don't need this much epoxy for this particular one, but I have a tumbler that I'm working on. So I'm going to, that's why I put so much in there, because I'm going to use the excess for my tumbler. So what I do with my epoxy, I don't know. I've heard people say do not heat it up, but I heat mine up because it's easier for me to mix. So I heat mine up a little bit with my heat gun, and then I mix it together. Okay, and then I'm going to pour it in. Now I'm telling y'all, these cups are amazing, because normally I like to let my epoxy sit. So I don't know. I normally just let it sit out, because once I pour it, I just let it sit for a little while. I seen that in a video that it's supposed to help with the bubbles, but it really doesn't, because once you stir it and once you mix it and start stirring, those bubbles are going to come. And I have not figured out how to not have bubbles. I mean, I have stirred so slow one time, and I was like, and those 2 minutes was going by so freaking slow when I was stirring. But I stirred so slow, and I'm very impatient. So I tried it. It didn't work for me. I still had a lot of bubbles. But every time I apply my epoxy, whether I'm applying it to my tumblers or what, I always use a glove and I run my fingers over it. And that helps with the bubbles some. And like I said, I always use my my heat gun. I don't know, I haven't figured out how to not have bubbles. There's always bubbles. I've even after I've mixed it, I have put it in set the cup in hot water. I still have bubbles. I have let it sit for like 5 minutes. I still have bubbles. I just can't figure out how to not have bubbles. So I just always have bubbles. And now I don't even really take my time with mixing it because I'm still gonna have bubbles. But you're supposed to mix this slow for like at least 2 minutes, you know, to get all the to make sure it's mixed equally, and make sure you measure your equal parts. That's why I use those measuring cups, because they have the measurements on there, and I'm telling you, they're like 92 cents at Walmart, and I have like so many of them. They're only 92 cents, and like I said, these little cups I purchased from Dollar Tree for $1. It's 100. I mean, not 100. It's 22 a pack, little red cups, and it just makes my life so much easier, because I mean, you only get, when you buy the epoxy, you only get like 3 measuring cups in there, I think. So you're definitely gonna need more than that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I have so many freaking bubbles in there. So many. I don't even be tripping about the bubbles no more, honestly. And sometimes when I'm mixing, I heat it up with my heat gun while it's in the cup. I don't put too much heat to it because the cup will melt. It's a plastic cup, so it'll melt. But sometimes I do that. But you just want to mix it until it's clear, until it's not cloudy anymore. And when you put it on this tray, this is not like a tumbler. You have to constantly keep it spinning and spinning and spinning, because epoxy is self-leveling. So long as you have your tray or whatever item you're epoxying, as long as it's on a flat surface, it's gonna level out. It's not gonna leave like bumps and like lumps. I mean, in certain places, it will level out because it's self-leveling. Okay, I think that's enough mixing. So I'm going to put my gloves on. You always want to work with gloves. Some people suggest working with masks. I probably should. Yeah, I probably should. And you just pour some on like so. And then you just rub it around the tray. And it's so much like, I tried with the silicone brush. I mean, the silicone brush is not, it's not a bad idea. I mean, I liked it, but what I like with rubbing it on my hand, I can actually feel like if I missed a spot. So that's better for me. And you don't want to put it on too thick. You definitely don't want to do it too thick. You need just enough to cover it. Sometimes I get this thing perfect and I don't have to do a second coat. And sometimes I have to do a second coat. Put a little more on there, just a little. Not too much. And like I said, when you use epoxy, it really doesn't require a lot. You know, whether you're doing a tumbler, whether you're doing whatever you're doing, it really doesn't require a lot. Just a little bit. Because, you know, of course, the more you put on, the longer it's going to take to dry. So you're just going to apply a little thin layer. Make sure you get those edges all on the inside. Yeah. Oh, decal is moving. So I'm probably going to have to put another coat on there. I can feel it in my spirit. My decal is moving a little bit. Oh, it ain't even stuck down there. Oh my goodness. Okay. I know I'm definitely going to have to put another coat. Well, hopefully once it dries, it sticks in place. I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to be when it dries. Okay, I think I have epoxy all over it now. Oh, got some blue paint, blue glitter right there. Okay, so that's that. So I'm just going to, I don't really see any air bubbles, but I'm just going to give it a little bit of heat. And once it dries, if you do have air bubbles, you can like sand them out and then, you know, put another coat of epoxy on there. But that's it, you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. So go to Dollar Tree, get those trays, get to glitter them, and make that money. Until next time, see you guys later.